Oh, sorry. So hello everyone. Welcome to this webinar. First of all, a short disclaimer. This webinar is done for research partners only. So I'm not a member of Modelio Soft team, so it's only the ways what I learned by using Modelio. So it's not kind of prepared webinar by the commercial team, but rather experience on generating various types of documents in various projects. And so here we will learn some basics about Modelio. I hope you all see the Modelio window that I currently have. You can also try to chat or add something to chat window that I have some return from you from time to time. I will enable others to speak when we had finished some of the part of this seminar in certain parts, and also I will try to show you a few hints how to use Modelio in more advanced way. So what I used for this webinar, first of all, some of you have access to Modelio Studio. So if you want some very advanced development of Modelio modules, you would need Modelio Studio that you can find to see in your Modelio. For my seminar, I used also a model that you can actually see in project examples, and in particular shopping cart. So this was the examples that I used for this webinar, right? And so let's start. So first of all, I will start my project, which I already prepared. I created Modelio Studio project and imported inside the shopping cart example. So here is Modelio. The shopping cart example has some requirements, functional requirements, non-functional requirements, some about performance, for example, of the shopping cart application, which is kind of online web shop. It has a dictionary with different kind of items inside. Right. So these requirements are implemented in Modelio views, in design. So there is analysis model with different actors defined for your system. So visitor, client, supplier, administrator, bank. So this is kind of online web magazine called Shopping Cart. So there is different processes defined for this model, different use cases. So NetSurfer, go and manage shopping, search for products. Client can file a complaint, consult orders. Bank can help in checkouting, and so on. And which is then modeled and implemented in UML with specific architecture, like logical architecture, when I have presentation level, business level, entity level, and so on. So it is a complete example of implementation of this application with Java. So you can learn about that. What we will be interested today is to learn about documentation. And here we have already in this example different documents in Word format, then in web format for both analysis, like use cases, processes, domains, analysis and design, and so on. And also for the requirements, we can see the dictionary. We have different requirements, the traceability matrix, and vision. So in this webinar, so we'll go. So first step was to see the example. We will see then different these already available templates, how to instantiate your own document, configure that a bit. And we also try some more advanced topics. First, how to build your own custom template, and how to integrate it into specific thing that we call Modelio module, so that you can reuse it many times. And also, if you want to provide it to somebody else, it would be nice to provide this as a module, as Modelio module. Right. So then let us see. What the documents generation look like. So in the example, for example, we have a dictionary, for example. So here we have different tabs, and we would use a document publisher tab. If you don't see, for example, in a Modelio, you can go and check this in views. Right. So they would be a document publisher view if you don't have it. And so we go and see that, right? And we can see the we will edit properties. So we'll see the properties of this document generation stuff. So first of all, we'll see that it's called dictionary. It uses format Microsoft Word. There is target the directory. The styles, very important, and templates. So we can choose different templates that can be used for your document generation. So here is a simple dictionary is used. For the content, we can use table of content, table of tables, if there are many of tables, table of figures, and so on, that will be automatically added to your document. And in manifestation, this is very important. We say from which element the document generator should start. And for different templates, it is different starting point. So usually it's some kind of package, or in this particular case, it would be dictionary. So we already put the dictionary inside. So the document generation will start from this moment. So let's generate document and see what we see. Okay, let's go here, and we can either use generate document, or we can use document publisher, generate documentation, visualize documentation, all this available. So I will use this button because I like using that in this way. Okay, so we're having that generated. We can then visualize this documentation. Okay, Microsoft Word is opening. So what we see here, so first of all, we used style sheet, document style, which is coming from Modelio, which is nice one. Then we have a table of content that we asked it to be provided. And then we have the main document with the title Dictionary of Dictionary. So I think it's not a good idea to call this that way. So I would, we can change that if you wanted. Then we have a specific diagram for the dictionary. So this could be, this indicates, for example, administrator is synonym for webmaster, for example. And then we have a list of items in this in the dictionary. So we, for example, can see there is some things that are not really added. So there is nothing. So we can check actually what's inside. So why it is not provided. And for example, it was the provider, yeah, if you remember right. So yeah, actually there is no definition for the provider, so that's not good. We can also see that there was something wrong with webmaster. Yeah, no, for webmaster we didn't have any definition. So what we can do in this case, when we use a document publisher, we can add directly some text, okay, directly in the document, a specific type of note. So here I have the webmaster. Master is the technical personnel of the internet shop responsible compatible for the servers, for example. Good. I saved this one, okay, and now actually I can import it. So it was we said dictionary, okay. I can import the document and reverse content of this generated document, okay. And basically, Modelio says that a webmaster term was actually modified. So this way, from the generated document, I can update the dictionary or any other element. So if, for example, now I go to webmaster, it already says what it is, which I actually edited from the document. If I go back to this document and regenerate, okay, I will check this out again. I now see this text added and is managed, and also you can see that I can change names for different elements, and when I change them and revert them back to Modelio, these names will be changed back. Right. Okay. So if you noticed, okay, so this is the style here is somehow, I mean, it's nice going from Modelio soft, but it doesn't really look like, for example, for my research project, it doesn't look like. So I want to change that. So I created here for our webinar different styles. So the styles that I have created is using some SISM street logos and on the white blank background for readability. And so now I will try to use this one, right? So what I will do, I will go to this dictionary, and I will let's say edit. Here we have it, dictionary. I will edit. I will choose another style sheet. So I will pick not those style sheets that are available with Modelio. So by the way, there are blue ones. And some French as well, so so we can use those things. I will go rather to webinar in logos, and I will use this one, for example. Okay, so now it's done, and I will generate the document back. We'll open this one, and now we have this document in this SISM Street style with all these elements added in this style. So we will be using this one. Okay, so this is nice. So this worked once for the for this already existing document style. Let's see how this would work, for example, with specific documents. Let's start to create how I'll create a document. So here's I have my test model for webinar. So that's where we will do all our testing, right? And inside, to use document publisher, I will go with right click on document publisher and create a document folder, right? So here my documents for webinar docs. Good. And inside I would create a document, right? And for example, if I wanted to use analysis document, I will then pick some particular template, so I can use all of those that are available. For example, for analysis and design, right? I will then use my style sheet. Okay, so this is says that actually it's HTML. So I will use not OpenOffice but Microsoft Word in this case. So I like this more, and I will pick one from webinar, this webinar style, and next will be table of content, table document content, and I will use all the analysis folder and see. Oh, actually, I can. Let's be crazy. We'll use everything from here, and we'll check what it does. Okay, so now it is done. So in my webinar, so I have this one. So I actually will edit it that it would be called webinar analysis. Webinar analysis. I will also change the title. Okay, so webinar analysis document. Good. And I will generate this one. Good. So it's working. It's doing something. I will visualize the document. Okay, and here we have it. So we have the long document for my model with use cases, with different packages, with each class being defined. So it works on the package level and checks all the elements, all the diagrams, and getting out it from the document. And for each package, it works in similar way. So picking up the diagrams, elements, description of these elements from the Modelio, and getting them all inside the document. So this is how this works. So if I need to change something, I can do that as well in a similar way as we saw before. And this is a way you can create documents from the already existing templates with specific styles that you may create for your for the project you work with, or for a particular models that you have, or other things. So okay, so this was how we create documents from the existing templates. So now I'd like actually to create and show you a bit of how to create these documents or templates, this kind of templates, and we will see a bit advanced topics on how to create specific templates. So one particular thing recently that I encountered was creating a custom traceability documents. So in particular, in this example, we have requirements, we have use cases, right? And we have design or actually implementation of these use cases in these requirements in form of classes or in form of components. So this kind of logical architecture, right? So we have domains. Domains are specific data types, and so here we have also traceability links added. By the way, so now we are switching to see this template editing style stuff. So how to edit and create your own templates. I wonder if you already have some questions on the creation of the documents out of existing templates. So I will now switch on all the participants. So in case you have questions, I will give you opportunity to ask your questions on this particular part, which is creating the documents for existing templates. Right. Okay. So now I'm switching you on. So if you have any questions, no. How I do that? Okay, options. How I can switch you all off on? Okay, so we hear someone. So I can switch. So I switched off everyone. How I can get this back? Okay, so you can probably raise your hand if you want to speak. There is a hand raiser. So otherwise, I would switch you on. So far I don't see anyone asking for a question. So I think it was all clear. So we'll switch now for template creation. Okay, or you can then also ask your questions in the chat window so that I can see the questions arriving. So please do it if you have some questions. Good. So now we will go on custom traceability template. So this is actually something that I recently had as a problem. Okay, so so that I would create a custom template in this second part of the demo. Right. So let's just examine this model shopping cart. So we have different requirements. Okay, and we have also specific. So here we have traceability view. Traceability matrix, where we see all the traces for different requirements and different use cases added. So, for example, we can go and this one, account management, and there is two use cases that trace this. So we suppose that this use case should satisfy this requirement. If we go to this particular use case, right, we see that there is a specific component that implements this use case that satisfies this requirement, and so on and so forth. We can see that on different requirements and different use cases. So we can see all those traces added. In a similar way, when we go to design and see the actors and use cases, right? We can actually see that there is specific links, trace links for requirements traceability and from use and implementation traceability. So this shopping cart data object or class traced to the specific use case that is involved in, and then traced to the requirements part. So from this, actually, there's complex or three-level traceability, and it is interesting how we can extract this information and with Modelio, and to create specific documents about that. So let us try to create this traceability documents inside. What I want to achieve is a kind of list for all, for example, for all use cases, what are the requirements. It depends on or satisfies which requirements it satisfies, and the same thing for the classes, for example. So this is what information I want to see on the documents. And there will be sections on use cases and on classes, and probably we'll go also to requirements to see which are requirements that are affected by these or those use cases. So let's do that. So how I create the templates? First of all, I will need to go to my UML model, so have the document folder. So okay, create another one. So just for sake of example, where I put my template, new template. Good. Okay, it's a new template. Here I will create my with top template editor. I will create a new template, right? Okay, so here we are. Here it is. So by the way, this is a window for the template editor. It's visual editor. So here we have specific ways to navigate model and to create specific sections, paragraphs, tables, lists. So when I right click on this node, this can be editor. You have navigation node like Smart Filter, which finds me to find all in the model all the list of different elements of particular kind. We have filter, which is filters my results. We have Metamodel. If I know, for example, I start from actors, I go to package, I go to X, see the actor, and then I want to see all the things, so I can navigate that relationship through Metamodel navigation. Then we have very custom things, root navigation, GTON navigation, which I actually can use navigation by GTON or Python with API, with a very rich API. And then the root navigation starting from the root folder, so to navigate through the model. And for production nodes, when I have with this navigation nodes, when I have a number of elements, what then I can do? I can do sections, paragraphs, lists, matrices, tables, and we will see some of those today. And I also can do some procedures. Right. So how can I learn about how to do this new templates? The very easiest way is actually to see how those standard documents were created. And then what I do, I go open and actually in template editor module, you already have all those templates available in XML form. And for example, for traceability, I can go and check how this was done. So the one provided by Modelio soft, there is a section on traceability from the model toward the requirements container, from the goal container, from the business rules, and so on, and checking all these tables with smart finders and so on. So we will use similar way, but probably we'll start from scratch so that you see how this works. Okay, so I don't really need all of this, so I will just delete that. Okay, all these wealth of things, I don't really need that. I will create my new traceability. Right, I will save it. Okay, here's my new traceability. So I will start with creating a specific I will start with creation with specific section. Okay, I will put that this will be called, let's say, it will be called use case traceability, because I want only to see all use cases and what are the traces to other things. Traceability. Okay. So this will be my section, so I'll save it. If it's empty, it says currently if the section is empty, so don't generate the section. So no, I think I will generate it anyways. So I will save it. I will compile it, package it. So currently I will use my editor folder for this one. Okay. Now it's been packaged, and now I can actually test it. So I will create a document. Okay, create a document. I'll call it test. I will use MS Word, and when I packaged my template, it's currently available in the list of the templates, and we said it was called new traceability. Oh, here it is. Good. For the style, I will use one of the webinar. Okay, so this is the style I will use. And I will start my analysis from the very beginning, from the design, so from shopping cart, okay, from this level. And that's it. So here is my test. I can now go and generate. So I've selected this element, so I can generate it. Okay. And now I can see that one. Okay, so here's my document called test, and this is case traceability section being generated. So now I have it, but I have nothing inside, so I will need to fill this out with some information from Modelio. So let's do that. First of all, I see also that there was kind of default title. What I want to see here, so the title will be not a document, but my new traceability document. Good. I will save it, and now we'll go and find things. Okay. So first of all, I will go and create navigation node, and I will use Smart Finder to see to go through all the model and get out all the use cases. So I will then choose packages. Package. I will use Control Enter to see what are suggestions from Modelio, and I will check all use cases. All use cases. Okay, so I found them. Good. So these are all my use cases. So what to do? So I will create probably let's create some paragraphs. I'll create paragraph, and in paragraph I will use the name for each use case. So these kind of things. So here's actually suggestions that what I can use there for this particular use case. So these are the information that I can pick and use and put this in documentation. So I will only use name. Okay, so I will save it. I will package it. Okay. And now I can go and see what gives the test document shows me. Okay, it's been generated. Let's visualize it. New traceability document, that's what I expect. And this is all my use cases, traceability, all my use cases. Okay, so that's fine, but okay, so that's not enough. So it's only names of use cases. I want to have requirements that they are associated to. So for that, I want to navigate more. I will want to navigate more and pick those information from the model. Okay, so how I would do? Basically, we can let me just close this one for a moment. We can navigate Metamodel inside and see how this looks like. So what I wanted, I wanted to check these traces. So for example, this managed shopping cart, I have traced that way to the requirement and that way to the shopping cart class. So I wanted to pick this one and this one for my traceability. Okay. So what I would do then, I would so I need to know how to discover these links. Okay, so I will switch then, create a new explorer, right, from this element. So to only concentrate on this element, right? I will create explorer from this element. So here it is, and I will turn on Metamodel Relationships. Hop, and now I can see lots of things now. So this allows me to navigate in my document template through this one. So I see, for example, on which dependencies, right, these traces. So I see this trace safe in card dependency to a requirement, right? To requirement, and the other way around, I see the other elements it is depends on. Good. So what would I do? Where is my? I go back to my template. So I will now go. So let's use it. Right name here. So I found all use cases here. Find use cases. Okay. Now what I need to do is go from the use case. So here I see that actually I'm currently on use case level, and for each use case I will find some trace links. So I will find what are through depends on dependencies the traces, right? And through impacted dependency, different kind of traces. So what I would do then, so now from this level, so this paragraph that says this is name of the trace, so under this paragraph I will go and create a meta-model navigation. Okay, and from use case I will see a relationship which is called dependency, depends on dependency, poof, and I see the dependency itself. Now in this dependency I will need to go and recover the requirement. So this is fine. This is kind of link called we said depends on, and from this one I will go and get depends on, and we'll pick only the requirements. I will pick the requirement. Okay, so here we are. So I'm currently on the requirement level, and from this requirement, so what can I do? So I'll create a list of those requirements in the paragraph, or kind of comma separated list. What should I do? Probably what I will do, I will just create a comma separated list for all the requirements, and with the name inside, and with the delimiter of this one and this one. So we'll currently see what it does. I think I might need actually to put it a bit further on paragraph level, but we will see. Probably this will work fine. Let's see. So this will be a live demonstration, so this probably won't work, but we check that. Okay, so what does the test gives me? Okay, I'll go and generate the document. I hope I don't have it open. Okay, fine. So what do we see now? Yeah, so for each one, we actually have specific specific things, but they're really close to the other one, so it's not really looks very nice. So what we would do, we edit a bit our template editor. So I'll close this one to make this a bit more interesting to see. Okay, more nicer way. So, by the way, I will also emphasize that probably strong. I will put it strong. Probably it would work. Okay, and here I will use probably a list. Not numbered. Complete list would be okay. Which would contain. Okay, put it here. Then under the list I will put this one. Okay, and here I will have list items with the names. So with the names, with those requirements names. Good. Here it will be strong. I'll put another paragraph. Right, and here I will say that this will be satisfies requirements, and there will be a list. Okay, then we will go list that we discover from Metamodel navigation. Okay, so let's go and check how this looks like. Up. And here we go. Here we have our test document, and we'll check it out. And here we have use case, then requirements, safe in chart, safe order, checkout use case. No requirements satisfied, so this is not good, but there is no actual requirement contained to that. And we actually have all the necessary information right now here. So we can actually use, instead of using this kind of view, which is not really nice, we may use tables, and tables actually would look much better for this use case traceability. So let's do that. Let's modify the template to use tables. So, okay, for the inside of this section on use case traceability, we will have a table which has several rows. We'll have a row that we'll call use case, right? We'll have another row. We'll have 3 of those. That would be satisfies requirements. Okay. And the third one relates to and we will have the other part, for example, class or component. And this will you discover from other navigation. Okay, so here we have the table, and inside of the table we have the different table cell. So the first cell would have the name for the use case. We actually can put that a bit strong. Well, okay. So then we'll have another table cell. This will be kind of use case. This will be one for requirements, Rex. And we don't need or why not paragraph, and we'll pick this list from here. Okay, so this one we don't really need that anymore. By the way, I think we need that undefined use cases part. Okay, so this is okay. Yes, use case, then requirement, and we will keep the third one for the related ones. We will have it empty for the moment. We will have this empty. Okay, don't need the paragraph here. We'll have a list inside. Yes, that's actually should be good. So we save it. My new traceability. Okay, and we have to compile that. Let's check how this looks in tests. Okay, it's been generated. My new traceability document, and here we have it available. Use cases, satisfies requirements, shopping cart, and so on. But it actually doesn't look really good because it's for each use case there is a table, so there is some bug in our template. We will fix it right now. Okay, let's close this one. So okay, yes, I see what's the problem. I see what is the problem. So we'll need to put this here, then put that here, and then move all this on the defined use case, and this one as well. Okay, so now it's good. So we find a use case, we put this use case inside of a cell. Okay, good. For the table, we can use different style because it was really not nice. I will put this one, associated list, which was not that bad when I checked it last time. Header, let's choose left. Okay. Then we safeguard, compile it. Good. And let's test it. Okay, so it's been generated. Let's see that. So now it looks much nicer. So you see that you have a use case which specifies requirements. Okay, safeguard, order form, search, and so on. And we can also add relates to classes of components, and we will add this one. So already for traceability, you see so that not all use cases are connected to requirements. So this is probably not good. So it's already a good result for us to see what are how traceability works for analysis purposes. And also we'll check how this looks like with the classes, for example. So how this looks. Good. Let us finish this one. So here we have a list. Oh, what list? So we have another list here, which would be. We'll see how to get to the classes. Okay. So here how we discuss requirements through the depends on. So we need to see impacted dependency in a similar way. To discover the classes which it's related to. Right. So then we go and through Metamodel navigation, we get this impacted dependency. Okay, impacted dependency. Okay, that's good. We have one. So, but we also need descend to a next level to see this impacted, and we'll not really, we'll actually only pick any elements, not only classes, but also probably some other elements like classes, packages, components or whatever. So we will check everything. So we will use impacted here. Good. So just to remember, so this is what we we used impacted dependency here, and we used impacted here to get this one, and we use depends on and on twice here, just to let know to have a proper model. So okay, so we need text. So now we have elements. So we have the class or package, whatever, and now we need a list item that would have all those things. Okay, we can also use some style for this one. So yeah, that would be okay. So let's compile it, and it's been done. And now we go and test it. So here we have it, our test document. We will generate it. Okay. And now we visualize it to see what it does. Okay, so here we have it. Here we have so use case manage shopping cart corresponds to requirement save in cart and relates to specific class shopping cart. And you can also see that some use cases relate to some requirements are not related to specific classes or specific components, and basically this is not that good. But actually, this may also be this also may be the way we navigate those classes. For example, if we check this recall product use case, so we'll see how this looks like in a linked editor. Okay, product management, recall product. Okay, so I'll close it for a moment. Okay, so what we see, it is actually linked to some things, but really, yes. So this doesn't really link to any requirements. So this is not really good. So this part needs to be treated, and this is kind of analysis, a part that the work should be done on the work package level. So here is how this looks like currently. So I don't really like this numbered list. So we will let's correct this one, and then we will switch to another topic. Okay, so so I'll close this model. I will template editor. With template editor, I will then repair related. I will repair the list, so I don't need number it. I would use bullet list. Right. For the paragraph, I would use probably. Don't want to use it anymore. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so now I compile this one. Okay, so normally should work well. We'll test it again. Okay. Yep, it looks nice, as it should be. So I don't. Okay, there is extra paragraph on it, so I don't need that. But otherwise, everything is okay. So for me, it's nice result. So this part we already can use, and it may be helpful for somebody who works with that. Okay, so what then I need to do? So what I want to do to finish my template? Okay, I want actually that by default I have my project style be associated. So what I do I would use on this template, I will add resources and associate open XML style sheet. It's the same thing as associating this Word document style. Okay, I will pick in the one that we used, as you remember, with SISM tree. So I'll pick this one. So okay, here it is. I will save then my model just just as a good practice. And here it is. So here's my template. So anybody who wants to do anything can create a document, okay, Word document. They can pick the template, which is called New Traceability, okay. They can another document, other doc. Add some title. Okay, here's the title that we choose by default. Here it is. Another text video document. So this comes from the template. This also comes from template. So it will be a very nice template that we created before. Now I should pick any element. So I'll pick shopping cart. Okay. And now it's done, so I can generate it and see this. And okay, so it doesn't really help with this one. Okay, let's do that again. So the styles should be created for this one. So they were not really added for some reason. So let me put another open style sheet, webinar style sheet. Okay, I will go just to check. I will go and save it and generated one. Okay, now if I try this one again, so what happened? Okay, so now it works all fine, and I have my my traceability table. So I still have extra paragraph, so which I don't really like. So I will first get rid of it. So it was in the last table, and actually this extra insert paragraph. So that I don't need this one. Okay, so now it is done. Now what happens if I want to send this template to somebody else, to my colleagues that work on my in the project, and how they can reuse this template? So they can, let's say, we can save it and add them to compile. Give them to compile, so we can save this as XML, for example, and give them, but this is not the proper way. The proper way is to create specific module. So now we have the modules in Modelio, so like Modelio Studio, Jar Designer, Document Publisher, Template. So we will create a specific module to give that to somebody else. Right. By the way, do you have any questions on templates right now? So I will now allow everyone to speak. In a chat window, does it work? I will ask my colleague to check. Or you can raise your hand. There is a specific button to raise your hand. I will check if somebody so okay, you can raise your hand if you want to speak. So I will unmute you, so that you can ask a couple of questions if you want. Okay, so far I don't see any questions so far. If there is no chat window, so some of my colleagues say there is no chat window, you can raise your hand. There is a button to raise your hand. So then I will give you a word. So Okay, I don't see anybody having any questions. Okay. This is okay. So now then, we don't have any questions. That's okay. Okay, Prasun has had some questions. Okay, I will give a word to Prasun. He is my colleague from SOFTEAM. So, hi Prasun, do you have any questions?
Hi. So my question was, if I have to edit the style, the one which we are using for the moment in the template, how will I proceed in this?
Yes. For the styles, actually, it's a tricky question, and actually, Prasun has had a problem these days. So probably it is good to know. We need a specific version of Word for that. I think it's 2013 or something. Right now, if I just do that with the normal Word, the latest Word that I have, it will actually spoil my style. So, but the editing, if you have the right version, you go inside of the document, you edit this. For example, you could correct it. Let me just put this as, let's say, on top of the. So you correct the styles. If you want to edit specifically a header, for example, you create a header. You change, for example, the color of the header with red, and then you update the section 1 to match. So then in generated document, the section 1 would be in a different color. So then you delete it from the template and use this new document as a style sheet.
Okay, I see.
So this would be the way to do that.
Okay.
So this is how this works. The good idea is actually to work with that. You can start with already available style sheets from Modelio, and then you modify them to use it in the same similar way.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now I have Pierluigi has a question, so I will give Pierluigi to speak. Okay, Pierluigi. Okay. Hi, Pierluigi.
Oh, yes, Andrei, just to clarify that we cannot use the document publisher in Modelio SA that we are allowed to use. But as far as I can see, only with Modelio Studio, isn't it?
The document publisher for you, I think in the version that you have in Modelio, you should have this the Modelio publisher as well. So you can see that from the license information. For example, you should have in the license information the license for document publisher. And if you want to edit templates, create your own template, there is a specific license for template editor.
Okay.
So then you're completely covered and you have everything needed. So with document publisher, there is already a number of existing templates by our team from Modelio Soft. And with template editor, you have even sources for those templates, which is also nice. Okay. So anybody else for questions? Okay. So Prasun, do you have a question, a specific new question? Sorry, I will unmute you.
Sorry.
Yes. Do you have a question, Prasun?
No, no, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Pierre, okay. So because I still see your hand. Pierluigi, you have a new question, or it's? Pierluigi, do you have any new question?
No, No, thank you. No.
Okay, so this one
Thank you.
question. Okay, so that's nice. So now we will switch to see how integrate your document publisher, new template to a module that others can integrate in their work package in their project, Modelio project. So like Modelio Studio or document publisher or editor, any other template. So what I would do in this package, I will create a module with a studio, Modelio Studio, right? And this will be called webinar. Webinar. Okay, and I will pick a nice logo for it from Season Street. Provider, don't need that. We will use user commands and document templates. No diagrams, no property pages, no MDA extensions, so only user commands. Webinar, and group ID would be something like org project. Yep, and it should be created. So here it is. Here is my studio project, and I will show only like simple ways how to create things. So how to create menus. So now what we will do, we will pick the template that we created, this new traceability. We will put it in resources of this module, document templates. Okay, just putting that inside. Here it is in document template. So now it can be packaged inside of the module with the right template and style, document style. So everything would be fine. But I also need to create a command, a menu. So what is a command? When I do right click on any element, you can see that the modules come with the commands, specific commands, for example, Java to generate Java code, or document publish to create a document folder, or install a new template, and so on. So we will create a similar one. So we will go to the graphical user interface. We'll create with the studio new command. Will be new traceability, use case traceability, traceability document, right? We will pick a logo. We can pick this one as well. Why not? I'll label the generate use case traceability document. Why not? We'll say that the action would be a generated document. We'll pick this template that we created, new traceability document. Okay. And yeah, so when we right click with the Modelio, so we can apply this command to specific meta class, and we need to add something. So by default, we can actually use our template from any element, because we don't use. So in the first step, we go and check all the use cases from particular package or for a particular project. So we will start with model element, but we can also start, for example, from a package. Let's start from the package. Okay, we'll start with the package. Good. So it will be applicable on package level. This command is not the other way around. Okay, and we can finish. All right. So now command is generated, and then we need to create a contextual menu. Okay, let's do that. So here is our command with nice logo. We will add this to the menus. Good. Okay, so this is actually done. So now we can generate, we don't need documentation, but we need to compile. And to test it with right now, we will deploy it in the, we will deploy this to the project. Okay, let's deploy that one. Good, let's go. Okay, it's running Maven. It may take some time. It goes actually really fast. Okay, so now we have it. So now we have it, and if you right-click on this, so I have a new menu, webinar, and I can generate use cases. If I click, for example, on some other element like this one, so we don't have menu, so it only works with the packages. And when I click to this one, okay, I can now generate test documents. Okay, which is, so as you see, that it didn't really work because, first of all, style is different. And since I started from the package, it doesn't contain anyhow use cases, it didn't really work. So since all the use cases in the wrong style, it didn't really work. So what we'll do, so we will fix that. So it's interesting to see. It's like a live demo. Don't save. Let's correct this one. First of all, I want the styles being good. So for that one, I will use a specific parameter for my generator document, and in parameter, I will say that style sheet, to use specific style sheet by default. Style sheet, and as we saw before, the style sheet would be the same as in test we used in testing. It was template default, and we'll use this one. Okay, yeah, we have it. So now we can just change the version, so to have it 0.1. Okay, and we will generate it and compile it and deploy it as a test. And now it's been compiled and packaged. Okay, so now we have it. It's been loaded. So here it is. We will use it on the shopping cart, which contains the use cases. Okay, and we'll generate test document. Okay, it's done. And here we have it in the right format, in the right way, with the right information inside. So here how this works. So I think this part was for easy ways the studio can be really helpful. There is plenty other things that we didn't see, like ability to add custom navigation by Python, or getting custom information, specific information from the models, or create specific menus or specific tabs or diagrams. So this is not really covered in my webinar. The only thing that we saw today is how to use styles, how to use existing document templates, how to create some easy templates with a template editor, how to save, package it, the styles, and then we also saw how we can package it as a module to be distributed to other people or deployed to Modelio. So this is the thing that we saw today. Right. So I think it is actually pretty much the end for my webinar. So now we have a small session for questions answers, if you want. So I can go around and see if you have specific questions. So please raise your hand or ask the question. Okay. I will give you some opportunity to do that. Okay, so I have a question from Dragos. Hi, Dragos.
Hi.
What is your question?
Actually, my question was more like, I mean, it looks very simple when you do it. Probably we have more questions when we'll try to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if this web shop case study is available. This example is available for us to play with it.
Yes. So you probably missed the beginning. So first of all, oh yeah, of course I can actually bring this model of the online or distributed somehow. This is not a problem for me. Another thing is that the shopping cart, for example, is already available in existing projects. So if you go welcome, help, welcome, learn more, project examples, you will have shopping cart example. With all those documents that are already available in here. So in design, in Word or web format. So this we actually saw in the beginning of this webinar. So this were already kind of available. What that been I added today on this seminar is the new template, this new traceability template, a new style sheet, and the module. So I think you have all of you have access to add new templates. For the studio, probably you don't have license or something, but it's not really needed. So you can already test it with the templates, and then SOFTEAM team can actually SOFTEAM guys can add it for you. Or you can actually update your license as well, that you have also access to the studio that to integrate it to the menus. Right. Yes, and for the navigation, of course, what we saw today is rather easy navigation. In most cases, I think in 80 or 85% of cases, it will be quite sufficient. In some other cases, it's more difficult to do, but we can help as well with that one. Okay. Dragos, any other question?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. We have a question from Michael Benkel. Hi, Michael.
Yeah, hello, and Andrei.
Hello.
So first of all, thank you for the quick overview. So the idea is that we might create our own templates for revamp. So and I, for example, would start with an existing template like the full spec or something like that, something that's available, and modify it. Can you give us a quick overview how to start from there? For example, when I start with the full spec template and create a copy and start to edit it?
Yes, I will give you access to these models. But basically, the idea how to easily do that, you go click on the element, for example, template, you clone it, clone element, and then with edit template, you go inside and do whatever you like with this one. So edit blue color, how it did it. It's been done. So how we did it. And save it, compile it, and test it in the same way as I did the test model, so to see how it works. You can then also compile it if you like. Compile it as in a new module, but this is something a bit. Another topic, because currently we provide this model through Constellation, and you would need also to add to Constellation this template to everyone. But it's also possible, so we just need to show you extra steps, small extra steps to do that. But otherwise, SOFTEAM guys could do that as well for you. Right. So here's traceability. Okay, and I will save it. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So yes, I will give you access to you. You can see that and clone it.
Okay, that would be nice. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else for the questions? Okay. So I don't see anybody else for questions. So I then thank you very much for coming. I think it was quick and nice way to do templates and show it to you. So I hope it was useful to you, or will be useful to you in the future. And if you have any more questions, so please don't hesitate to come back to us, and we will help you with your templates and studio. Okay, so thank you very much, and bye-bye.